Hello, friends, and welcome to the Virtual Strangers review discussion of Gnog. And by Nog, I'm not talking about everyone's favorite holiday drink. I'm talking about Nog, the wonderful, colorful, creative puzzle game, which just so happens to be free on the Epic Games Store this week only. Get yours right now. I am your host, Wes. With me, as always, my good friend Roots. Alex, again, is on holiday, enjoying tea and extra crumpets. Uh, Best wishes, Alex. We'll see you when you get back, buddy. But back to the issue at hand here. Nog. Nog is as I said before, it's a straight puzzle game. It's what I would consider to be a trial and error puzzler. For the most part, there's not a whole lot of logical deduction you're going on here. You're just trying things until something works. Now, there are some clues in some of these puzzles, but for the most part, you find those clues by just messing around with stuff. But this comes from Co-op, KO underscore OP, Co-op. It was released on May the 2nd, 2017 on PlayStation VR and came to Steam on July 17th of 2018. So some 1 year later, coming over from PlayStation VR to PC. And it retails for $10, but as I just said, it is free this week on the Epic Games Store. So why pay the $10 when you can just get it for free, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Alex is not here. Hi, Alex.
Hey, Alex, what's up, man?
Roots. So I just described it. This, in my opinion, is a trial and error puzzler. Would you agree with that statement?
Oh yeah, it's exactly what you just described, and it's one of the coolest puzzle games I've played because of that. A lot of it is intuitive, but I like the fact that you can interact with everything, and I know a lot of games. Um, it just seems like they've got a skin on there, and this is pretty seemingly shallow game, but you can interact with so much. And You just basically are trial and erroring, like you said, until you figure out the puzzle, like he's about to do with this butterfly, or partially. And I think it's really cool.
Yeah, it is. And the way this game works is you come into the game. The title screen itself is a puzzle of sorts, but not really. It's very easy to solve. But you get these puzzle boxes, and they all have a different theme. The theme fills the world around you. And basically, you're just tinkering with these little boxes, trying to open them up. Each one of them has a button on the front. That's the object. Push that button. But there's always some kind of obstruction. Either the button's not activated, something's covering it, it's locked up, and you have to go through a series of events to gain access to the button on the front of the box. And when you hit it solves the puzzle, and you get a little show, audio-visual show from the box itself and the environment as well. Let's talk a little bit about graphics here. This game is has a diverse number of puzzles. I would say that the strength of this game, even more so than the puzzles themselves, is the art style, the audio, the visuals, and you have quite a diverse array of different puzzles. They're themed. There's different themes for each one, and with the different themes for each puzzles brings a different theme for each environment. So talk a little bit about the environments and the graphics in Nog.
It's really cool, actually. Like you said, this one right here. It's very 3D oriented. Like it's the best 3D I've seen in any game. Like you're seeing all this shit flying around, and when you solve the puzzle, it's doing all sorts of weird stuff. It's one of the most visually pleasing games I've played in a while. And then the audio, like just the way you interact and the sounds and the music, and they just really nailed this. You know, for a game that was not designed for VR, it sure feels like it's designed for VR. And it's one of those games that I feel like if you were to play it on flat game, it would be cool, but it wouldn't be nearly the experience. Like I think you would probably get 50% of the experience out of it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. That was the first thing that stuck out to me about this game. You know, this is one of the first games I ever played in VR. This was on the PlayStation VR Demo Disc Volume 1 that came with my VR. Before I even had any games to play on my VR, I was playing that demo disc, and immediately the 3D-ness of this just blew me away. And coming back into the game this week, to play through the entire thing for this review today, I was wondering to myself if that 3D effect was really as strong as I remember it. Because, you know, things back then when you were new to VR uh, had much more of an effect on you than they do now. Now we have a tolerance to
Hmm.
this stuff, and it doesn't, what used to be super 3D isn't so much anymore. So that was my biggest question coming into this game, and it wowed me all over again. Basically, I was blown away again at just how much depth the 3D has here. The environments are 2D layers that are layered in a 3D arrangement, and just a complete overload of particle effects uh, in every level, and very, very colorful, high contrast scenes, low detail. I mean, as far as the textures and details, it's cartoony in that way. It's kind of like I don't know if you've ever seen that show Yo Gabba Gabba, kids show that used to come on years ago. It's kind of like Yo Gabba Gabba made a puzzle game, and it's super trippy, super colorful, and beautiful. Not only from a visual standpoint, but from an audio standpoint as well. This game, as you interact with the puzzles, there's music playing. There's also sound effects, like environmental sound effects. And as you interact with the puzzles, sometimes it affects the music, but it always has some kind of a cool sound effect. Talk a little bit about that, Roots. What did you think about the sound?
Oh, I loved it. Just because, like you said, it's everything you interact with is making noise, and you've got the music and the visuals. I would deem this as I have a lot of other puzzle games or experiences. Like this is to me art. Like it's modern art made in a game form, and it's just amazing. Again, in a flat version, it would be wow. This is pretty cool. It looks cool, but the way that they did this when you're in there, I think if you don't get it on Epic Store like for free, I guess yeah, give the developers $10, but you need to play this game. Like it's just that good. I don't like puzzle games, but anymore mostly, but this one is just super cool.
Okay, yeah, I agree with it, and I guess uh, uh, really there's not a whole much more than that you can say to it. The draw of this game, 100% is the artistic aspect. This is a beautiful game. Every level, literally every level, and there's something like 10 levels. Every level wows you from the second you click into it. It doesn't even take that long. As soon as you click on it, it zooms you into each one of these environments, and it wows you every time. Uh, the sound and the visuals, everything's integrated together. And like Ruth said, it's art. It's very artistic. It wows you in the same way that Tetris Effect wows you. Gameplay wise, as we already said, this is a trial and error puzzler. It's a tinkerer. You're going to mess with this, you're going to mess with that. Every now and then you'll see some diagrams or something that'll pop up to give you a clue what to do next. It'll give you some clues about the order in which you do certain things. But for the most part, this is just a tinkering puzzle game that the main draw of it, the main strength of it are the artistic aspects. So whereas most puzzle games, in my opinion, don't offer a lot of replayability after you beat the puzzle, I think that this is quite the opposite. I think that the strength of this game is in what you see and what you hear, and I think that it's going to wow you every time, no matter how many times you do it. So 100% recommend from me, whether you get it for free or pay the $10, a must own for those of you who like artistic expression in VR. Roots, what's your final verdict on this one?
I definitely agree. Full price, free. I mean, if you really want to hate Epic Store and pay for it, go for it. But you definitely should try it. One thing I will give you, and I think was it Mamefan or that gave me this tip. Like you'll have things that like are a dial, and your instinct is to grab it and turn it, and you'll frustrate the fuck out of you because you can't figure out why it's not turning. But you're supposed to click it and then just pull your hand to the right or left, and it'll turn it that way. So it's weird that way. But other than that, that was about the only thing that I had to keep in mind as I was playing through it.
Yeah, the me playing it on the Rift S, it wasn't perfect motion controls, but I think a lot of it was that trying to turn dials and stuff. It's not how it works. You just grab it and pull or push or move left or right, and that'll turn the dial for you. A little frustration there, but quickly got over it when I learned how to do it.
Yep.
But I think that's it. I think it's going to wrap up our review of Gnog. Again, a big recommend, must-own title in my opinion, as well as Roots. So yeah, free right now on the Epic Game Store. So have at it. So if you've made it through this review, again, thank you for watching. If you liked the review, click the thumbs up. If you didn't like it, click the thumbs down. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget that notification bell as well in order to keep up with our nearly daily content here on the Virtual Strangers channel. So, for Roots, again, I'm Wes. I want to thank you for watching, and we will see you tomorrow, friends. Bye-bye.
Take it easy.